Hi there, welcome. So, over the years, I've had students ask me what it's like to do the work I do with people. How do I hold space for so many people? Do I ever get frustrated when a person doesn't change, or do I ever secretly judge people? So, in this video, I thought I'd give you a little peek behind the curtain and share what it's like to do the work that I do and what's going on in my mind and the minds of others who serve as inner work guides like I do, or as more traditional talk therapists. This video is part of a series about the private inner work space, what it is, what to expect, and how to get the most out of it. And if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released, please subscribe below. If you don't know me, I'm Julia Fradal. I help people transform unhelpful coping strategies at the root so they can build the lives and relationships and experiences that their deeper self really wants. My work draws on Buddhist teachings, Western psychology, and nature-based wisdom. And I've been guiding people through the inner world for about 15 years now. So when I'm sitting with another person, much of the time I'm listening. I'm listening to what you're sharing in the moment, while also doing my best to hold the larger picture of your life in mind, your history, your upbringing, your relationships, your traumas, your coping strategies, the patterns that seem to repeat themselves. So I'm listening to what you're saying overall while weaving it together with your past. I'm also paying attention to your body language and your word choice. I'm noticing what you do when you share something vulnerable, or when you share something about something that hurt you. Do you undermine it with a sarcastic comment, or do you laugh about it? Do you look away? Maybe you cap the sentence off with anyway or whatever, as a way of changing the topic or dismissing the hurt that you feel. Perhaps assuming you won't be validated, or that it doesn't matter, or that you won't be cared for. Yet another layer I'm paying attention to is the therapeutic relationship itself. What's going on in our process? Where do we get a little snagged? Am I being let in? Is the student trying to entertain me or trying to please me and be a good student? Are they frequently reenacting feeling misunderstood? Things like this. This usually says a lot about the emotional safety a person feels, not just with me, but in relation to others in general, and the ability to trust in being correctly seen and accepted. And so all of that is being taken in while I listen. And before I respond to what you're sharing, I then try to consider any sensitive spots I've noticed along our way. So the things I've noticed cause you to feel shame or shut down, the things that make you feel angry, what helps you feel safe. I'm also trying to read what your system seems able to hold on that particular day or in that particular moment. Would offering an insight actually be helpful, even if it's a little challenging, or is what's needed simply more in the realm of being seen and heard and understood? If I notice avoidance, I'll ask myself whether you seem to be consciously avoiding something, or whether your less conscious self simply isn't ready to go there yet because it doesn't feel safe enough yet. So there's a lot of quiet discernment going on about when to push gently, when to hold back, when to invite a little more honesty and vulnerability, and when to simply witness. And different guides will work with different levels of caution around all of this. A more gentle guide will exercise a lot of caution around activating a client. Others will be more willing to take a chance, seeing the opportunity to work through a mild activation in a healthy way as a good learning experience. This depends on the method or framework a guide is working with, as well as the guide themselves. So all of that to say, just because I or someone in my position notice something, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the right moment to bring it up. Or to say it another way, just because I don't say something doesn't mean I didn't notice something. And while I will challenge people when that feels right, I have learned that safety is the foundation for healing first. So if our system doesn't feel safe letting our guards down, and our coping strategies are those guards, our system simply won't let us access the more vulnerable spaces. So commonly I'm working to establish that foundation first, which means it can take a little time sometimes to feel progress in the work because we need to establish that relationship. But it's not a process that can be rushed. Moving too quickly can actually strengthen defenses rather than soften them, and that's not going to lead to progress. I personally would say in general, I'm probably about a 6.5 on a scale of gentle being like 1 or 0 and highly provocative being a 10, but it depends on the person. The therapeutic setting is not about advice giving. Sometimes we might offer suggestions, but the work is a lot deeper than that. It's a carefully attuned relational process where behind the words being exchanged is an endeavor to help you feel safe and seen and cared for in general, and then to help you trust yourself as you deconstruct belief systems and conditioning. Forgive yourself where needed and reconnect with your own wisdom and instinct. We are not only solving surface level problems of the moment, we're working much deeper than that to heal your wounds, change the coping strategies that arose from them, and change the way you relate to others in general. So it's really a space that's about process, right? And practice and relating. So to the question, do I ever feel frustrated with a student in this process? Honestly, no. And do I ever feel judgmental? Honestly, no. And this is both because I've been through a lot myself. Like everyone, I have struggled a lot. I have made a lot of mistakes. But it's also because, all the work I've done on myself and all the studies, all my studies about the human psyche and the human experience, because of that, I really understand how complex it is to be a human in these bodies. And not just that, but to be a human in the world we currently live in. It's not a world we are made for, which is a whole topic unto itself. But everything we do for a reason. And if it's causing suffering, I'm here to help a person investigate the beliefs and fears that are behind it. To quote David Lynch, as odd as that may seem, I love seeing people come out of the darkness. And, it's emotionally demanding work. It requires presence, memory, attunement, nervous system awareness, relational sensitivity, psychological understanding, and care. And it's pretty typical for us to see anywhere from 30 to 50 people a week. So there's a lot more to what's happening in that space than meets the eye. There's a lot more than just listening going on. There's intentionality, consideration, and care happening in the quiet. And of course, we aren't perfect. Sometimes we misread things. Sometimes I misread things. Sometimes I miss things. But this is the kind of space we attempt to hold in the work, and repair when anything like that happens is actually part of the work. So I hope that's helpful and that it gives you a glimpse into the world on the other side of the conversation. If by chance you're looking for support in your own inner work, you can find information about the work I do in the video description below. Thank you, as always, for being here. And remember, if you'd like to be notified when I post new videos, please be sure to subscribe below.